Goodness comes and evil goes. Kimungo.
Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu, welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject, and that subject is avoid being derailed from your own culture with misconceptions about Kwanzaa. The primary people of creation brought culture into being. This makes African souls not only the originators of culture, but also the pioneers of the highest forms of culture the world has ever come to know. And as such, it's important that African people retain and live by their own way of life. For this is what gives the African optimal life expression, optimal life functioning. And unfortunately, in recent times, with interruption and disruption by way of the Ma'afa across recent centuries, African culture has suffered. But it is the responsibility of African souls themselves to restore their culture to its proper and rightful place as fabric in African life. For without it, fullest life flourishing is undermined. So beautifully, Kwanzaa emerges out of the chaos and debris as a powerful, a magnificent vehicle to restore African culture and allow African people to ascend through their own way of life. It celebrates the living of African culture that it itself energizes in the African. And of course, that's punctuated with the core of the Nguza Saba, the value system that is with the African and is accessible to the African all year round throughout the entire annual cycle, year on year. It is, however, unfortunate that as African souls adhere to and gravitate towards their own cultural way through Kwanzaa, that misconceptions and false information and anti-African propaganda is concocted and peddled to derail African souls from the celebratory engagement. A barrage of such ills from certain quarters year on year, and it is part of the African self-determined thrust in taking care of the African self throughout its various levels to secure African culture, to secure the African self, and avoid the imposition of negative efforts attempting to derail African people from their own culture. And so, as part of restoration and elevation, it is important for African souls to secure themselves and secure their own way of life in an otherwise hostile environment or world out there, and must not be in any way discouraged from the beautifulness and the magnificence that such a wonderful time of year brings forth and enriches African life. So with that food for thought, and surely it is food for thought, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.
Kwanzaa is for real. let's reveal what we want. Kwanzaa value seal. We've got to be our own nation's yield. What we